Previously, he vows to deal with Li himself, even if it means fighting him. The Alliance leader believes him and disowns Li. He meets the Divine Physician as the guard squad falls into trouble, then promises tea if the Alliance leader visits. Now to the next chapter. Golden light illuminates the high mountains of Sichuan as the sun sets behind Tang Mountain. This mountain wasn't always known by this name originally. Three major powers dominated the region. The Qingcheng sect positioned to the east, the Amei sect established to the south, and the Sichuan Tang clan holding power to the west. Over time, as the years passed, people began calling it Tang Mountain, the place where the clan's massive manor still stands to this day. But the Sichuan Tang clan has fallen from grace over the years. Once a top-tier power commanding respect throughout the land, they've now declined to a mid-sized force, merely a shadow of their former glory. Two important figures stand before a gathered group of people. An old man asks the young woman if she'll be all right, but the young woman responds that the clan head cannot move at this critical moment. This is Tang Saren, the protagonist's elder sister, and a beautiful young woman who commands respect among the clan members. She addresses everyone in the squad, calling for them to listen carefully, making it clear that the protagonist's safety is their top priority and main concern. However, some of the squad members look nervous and uncertain, clearly not confident at all in the situation they're facing. She's about to give the order for everyone to leave immediately when the protagonist arrives with Seol unconscious on his back. Saren stops mid-sentence, about to say something else, but her eyes can see the protagonist, and she stops completely. She questions if it's really him as the squad looks back to see what she is talking about. The protagonist calmly states he has arrived back home, with Seol still quietly sleeping on his back. Confused by the tense atmosphere surrounding him, he questions his sister, wondering what's going on. Time has passed, and now the protagonist stands in his room, looking at a reflection of himself in the mirror. Touching his chin, he sees that he has truly regressed back in time. His thoughts turn back to what might have caused this regression, thinking about the odd laugh the Demon Lord used on him. He remembers the Demon Lord's words about how they will meet again. He becomes frustrated thinking about those words, wondering if that was the Demon Lord's plan all along. Walking away from the mirror, he states that he's not sure what the Lord is plotting, but it's going to be different this time around. He resolves with firm determination that he will make sure of it. He walks up to a bookshelf and scans through the books carefully. He sees the one he wants and grabs it, dusting off the cover. He knows this martial art well. It's a golden energy strengthening art passed down from the Tang clan's blacksmiths through generations. But something catches his eye, a bloodstain on the ground below. His mind wanders into the past, to a painful memory. He sees himself coughing up blood from how he failed his energy circulation. He remembers that the golden energy strengthening art was originally meant to help all the blacksmiths with their work. As his core raged on in the memory, he recalled that it had its advantages of being able to regenerate one's energy. But it had a downside. It was not able to increase the amount the core could hold. He recalls his struggle and how this wasn't a martial skill for growing your energy supply. He knows that when he tried to increase it, his core saw the new energy as poison. Back then, he did not have another option. The effects were visible on his face from the damage it was causing. But back then, he knew it was the only way he could get stronger, so he had no choice but to continue. He goes to put the book down and remembers how this martial skill slowed down his ability to learn other martial arts techniques. However, this same limitation also gave him the ability to create divine artifacts, a unique skill that would prove invaluable in the future. Walking away from the bookshelf, he thinks about the Demon Lord's martial art that he learned from him, the reverse heaven energy. He learned it for the sake of revenge initially, but it showed him a new path to enlightenment, allowing him to break through his problem and overcome the restrictions his deformed core had placed upon him. Then he gets into his stance and starts gathering his core energy. Focusing intently, he comments that his deformed core is still the same, still plagued by the same problems he had back then. Then he uses the energy he just gathered as he lifts his arm up and strikes down with force to test his strength. But he knows that this time he will improve faster, because he knows exactly where he went wrong in his previous life, and can avoid those mistakes. Time has slowly gone by. The sun has set, and now it's nighttime over the manor. The moonlight lights up the manor, showing its size, and the grandeur it once held when the Tang clan was at the peak of its power in the region. Inside the manor, the protagonist is still training without rest. He opens his eyes and comments that he has finally connected his lower hand upper core energy channels. He refocuses his concentration and knows that his energy has finally no longer been raging around and has become a little more stable. It's now flowing in a controlled manner that he can actually direct and utilize effectively throughout his body. He thinks about the golden energy strengthening art and how he's learned about 50% so far. And his demonic art, the reverse heaven energy, is around 10% he's learned so far. Progress that would have taken him months or even years in his previous life, now achieved in a matter of hours thanks to his experience and knowledge from the future. He gathers energy into his fist and knows that with these two arts, both use the lower and upper core, working in tandem to circulate energy throughout the body. But the difference is that the strengthening martial art recovers energy, allowing a practitioner to regenerate their spent power more quickly, while the reverse heaven energy increases the amount of energy that can be used, expanding the total capacity that can be stored and utilized. So one technique recovers while the other increases the size you have. He thinks that no one would believe him if he told them what he can do now, as he strengthens these skills even more with this dual cultivation method. He looks down, happy that he now has increased the amount of energy he can hold and can use it more freely now. The energy flows smoothly through his channels, no longer fighting against his deformed core, but actually working with it. But something stops him in his moment of triumph. There is a smell that he cannot ignore. He realizes that since he made it so no one could sense his energy, the smells could not escape as well. He trapped the odors within the room along with sealing his energy. He understands that the smell was coming from him, the impurities that were expelled from his body during his intense training session. He wants to clean up and change his clothes immediately. He's done cleaning up now, washing thoroughly and changing into fresh robes. He wonders why the formless dagger is here with him as he looks down at it. He questions why this weapon has followed him through his regression. But something catches his eye and he wonders what this kid wants. The kid becomes nervous and comments that he's sorry for interrupting. But the clan leader has commanded that the young master head to the main manor and pay his respects to him. He comments that it was an urgent matter and he had to open the door. The protagonist comments that it is fine and knew he would have to explain himself on what happened that day when he confronted those who attacked Seoul. Then he questions the kid if he is Zhang. And the kid gets confused, but as the protagonist walks past, he comments that he's asking if the kid's name is Zhang. And the kid agrees that it is, but wonders how does the young master know his name when they've never formally met. The protagonist looks back and smiles warmly to Zhang and comments that it was good to see him again. He makes his way there and the people around him see him and start gossiping among themselves. Word of what he did has clearly spread throughout the entire compound. The news of his actions must be known to everyone in the clan already by now. He arrives to the main house of the family, but as he goes to open the door, he can hear people arguing already. One voice questions how he can say that, while the other person questions if they have any better ideas. The discussion is clearly heated inside, then he opens the door deliberately. There are 3 people to his left, and 3 people sitting to the right, and 2 men in front of him. Seeing this, the pressure is tense in the room as all the eyes lock onto him immediately. To the left, 2 people are not happy to see him at all, their expressions showing clear disapproval and perhaps even hostility. But he does not care about their opinions and walks straight past them without acknowledging their glares. He gets annoyed as the memory of him looking down at his father that had passed away comes back. Painful memories flood back as he slowly walks forward. Memories of looking down at his deceased father's body, of the clan's decline, of his own failures. He continues forward steadily, each step bringing back another wave of agonizing recollections from his previous life. Then he takes a knee with all his confidence and hiding the pain. He puts his hands together and comments that he has arrived as more painful memories come back. He lifts his hands up in front of him as more painfully memories flood in, and he shows his respect. We see it's his father. His name is Tang Muyol, the Sichuan Tang clan head, a man he watched die in his previous life, now alive and well before him. Muyol commands him to stand up with authority in his voice. Then he agrees and slowly gets up to his feet. While one person questions why he is acting so confident after causing such trouble, which catches his eyes. He understands that the clan is in real danger right now. Threats that go far beyond whatever minor incident they think he's caused. And he walks over to the two talking and states with a cold look that the discussion has started. So let's continue. He knows the danger is coming from two overpowered poisons, two major threats that will destroy everything if not handled correctly. As a hand is raised, and states that he will continue the discussion then. This middle-aged person is Tang Hoyol, Manhwa Escort Agency Chief Escort, a position of significant influence within and outside the clan. He declares that the protagonist must understand how serious the situation he's caused is. For the sake of the clan's survival and reputation, Hoyol insists that the protagonist must hand himself over to the Murim Alliance's law enforcement to face justice. Seeing this man speak, the protagonist's annoyance grows significantly. He recognizes Hoyol as one of the primary threats, one of the first poisons that will slowly kill the clan from within if left unchecked. He resolves, in that moment, that he will do everything necessary to dismantle everything Hoyol has built up over the years. Standing there confidently before the assembled clan elders, he knows exactly what must be done. He knows he cannot afford to fail this time. He locks his gaze onto his first target, ready to begin the long process of saving his clan from destruction. Thank you for the support. The chapter recaps are a bit long because I enjoy covering the details. It may not be for everyone, but that's what I like. Thank you again. Now to the next chapter.